Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of BeReel365. Today is day 8. Today's question is, what is your greatest inspiration? For me, the very easy answer is my mom. And I didn't think this way until several years ago. I think as a lot of you are probably the same way as I was when I grew up. I resented my mom for certain things, and I took for granted things that she did for me. If you watched my episode a couple of days ago where I talk about if I were to have any regret in life, then the one regret I would have is I didn't spend enough time with my mom getting to really know her. And that was because my dad passed away when I was 7, and I just immediately resented my mom for that. In my mind, it was my mom's fault that my dad wasn't there anymore. Obviously, that's not true, yet I related her to the loss. And right after that, I will say this, she never remarried. And so she was constantly working. And when she was home, she was constantly cleaning and so OCD about a lot of things at the house. And I didn't realize later, number one, that she was that way. And of course, I resented her for all of that. Yet she was that way. She was working all the time because she had to provide for me. I went to a private school that she paid for. We lived in a nice house that she paid for, and all on her own. So of course she was working all the time because she had to provide for us. There was no one else there. And not only that, all of that I took for granted. And I feel terrible about it now because it goes right into why I wish I'd taken more time to get to know my mom, to let her know that I was sorry for taking her for granted and for resenting her. It's one of the things that I'm most sorry about in my life. And so she's my greatest inspiration now because now I see not only all of the sacrifices that she made for me and for us as a family, but just how strong of a woman she was. I mentioned in the episode about the regrets, when I was talking about my mom, I mentioned that she got breast cancer in 2008, and she beat that. Then she got leukemia a few years later, and she beat that. She just never gave up. And I remember sitting by her bedside the few days leading up to her death, saying to her, I appreciate you. It's okay. You can let go now. Because we were constantly by her side every single day. And in my mind, whether it's true or not, I think that she was holding on because we were still there. And she still felt like she needed to fight for me and for our family. And I wanted her to know that she didn't need to do that anymore. And it was the one night that I had left and my aunt had fallen asleep and no one was in the room. That was the night she finally passed away. And so now I look back and obviously, very easy answer, number one answer for me for what is my greatest inspiration. It's not what is my greatest inspiration, but who is my greatest inspiration. And that is very easily my mom. Beyond that, I think about inspiration in the creative sense. I am a very creative person. I have a lot of different creative avenues that I'm pursuing right now. I am into photography and videography, and I even paint, even though it's not that good. Don't ask me to show you a painting. It's not good. And so I'm into a lot of different things. I love music, and based on my feelings, don't ask me what kind of music I like because I'm going to tell you pretty much everything just based on the time of day and how I'm feeling at the time. And so I think it's important as creatives that we gather inspiration from various different areas, not only within our own creative space. So as someone that creates videos, I look to a lot of different arenas in order to gain inspiration for what I create. So a lot of times I'll listen to music and I'll see images and videos in my head, and I use that as inspiration. Sometimes it works in the opposite, and I'll think of a video concept and then I'll search out the music for it. Certain movies create a sense of inspiration for me. Certain things within the environment create inspiration for me. I literally gather inspiration from a variety of things around me in my everyday life. And I think it's of utmost importance that you all do the same thing. I think a lot of times we feel stale within ourselves and within our lives and within our own minds, which leads to a sense of unhappiness because we have lost our ability to seek out outside inspiration. So if I were to say one thing to you all, is take the time every single day to gain inspiration in your own way. Whether that's listening to music, watching a movie, meeting up with a good friend, writing in a journal, drawing, painting, playing an instrument, whatever that is for you, I would suggest that you do that every single day. And with that, I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.